Hey guys, today we're going to go over a few word problems. This is our last section before our test. So go ahead and get these word problems down. They're not hard, but there is a process to them, so make sure that you get these down and have a good understanding of how these word problems work. Okay, today we're going to do several examples, so go ahead and start following along. Okay, so fill in the blank. It says, on Tuesday, Tom read 22 pages of a book. Wednesday, he read 26 pages. Thursday, he read 21 pages. And on Friday, he read 23 pages. And our goal is to find the average number of pages he read per day. Okay? So this one's as simple as finding the mean or finding x. We're going to call it x. So we want to find x. What is it? Okay. So in order to find x, we're going to add up all of the different days that Tom read the book. So we read on Tuesday 22 pages. On Wednesday read 26. Thursday read 21. And Friday 23. Okay, and of course, he read for 4 days. So we're going to divide that by 4, and that is going to equal our x, or the average number per day. Okay, so if we add up all of the numbers in the numerator and divide it by 4, you get 92 divided by 4, or 23. Okay? So on average, Tom read 23 per day. Okay, so this word problem is essentially just finding the mean. There's nothing really particularly challenging about it. You just have to get through the problem, read, and see what it wants. Okay, now example 2 is a little bit different. Okay, it's going to actually require a little bit more work. So we're going to have to write an equation that represents the situation and then go ahead and solve that equation. Okay, so it says Catherine bowled 2 games, scoring, she must be pretty good, scoring 210 the first game and 184 the second game. What must she bowl in the third game in order to have a 199 average for those 3 games? Okay. So it gives you the first 2 games, and we have to figure out what her third game is to see that to make sure that she has a 199 average for those 3 games. Okay, so we need to go ahead and write an equation. Okay, and once again, we're trying to find x, or what her third game needs to be to have an average of 199. So let's write an equation. Okay, so we know her first game she bowled a 210. Her second game, she bowled a 184. And her third game, we just don't know what that is yet. Okay, so her third game for right now is just going to be an x. Okay, and all of those games divided by how many games she played has to equal what? Okay, it has to equal her average that it asked for. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and solve for x. Okay, so we can go ahead and combine like terms, add up 210 and 184, and that gives us 394. And then, of course, we can multiply by 3 on both sides, and that'll give us 394 plus x equals 597. And then we just have a one-step equation. Subtract 394 on both sides. And that would give you x equals 203. Okay, so on Catherine's third game, to get an average of 199, she would have to bowl a 203 in her third game. Got a quick joke for you. What do you call a guy with no arms? Start over. if you have a guy with no arms and no legs in a desert, what's his name? Think about it. Think about it. Wilt. Anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and start on example number 3. Okay, so this problem says, to get a B in math, you must score an average of 80 on 5 tests. On the first 4 tests, your scores were 74, 90, 66, and 76. And we want to know what is the lowest score you can get on the last test to still get a B. Okay, so let's go ahead and write our equation. We're trying to find x again. Okay, so if we write out our 4 tests, we have a 74, a 90, a 66, a 76, and we need to know what that 5th test is. Oops. Okay, we do not know what that is yet, so it is x. Okay, and we know we're taking 5 tests. We're going to divide it all by 5, and we're going to set that all equal to x. That x is going to, or equal to 80. Excuse me. Okay, 80 is our average that we needed. Okay, so our 5 tests divided by 5, and we want to set that equal to 80, our final average. Okay, so let's go ahead and combine like terms, adding up all of these guys right here. And if you add all those up, you get 306 plus x divided by 5 equals 80. And then we're going to go ahead and solve the equation. So we have to undo division with multiplication, so multiply by 5 on both sides. That gives you 400. So we have 306 plus x equals 400. And then undo addition with subtraction. So x would indeed equal 94. And so on that 5th test, they're going to have to do really well and get a 94 on it. Okay, so last problem. Okay, so it says Fred bought 3 sweaters, and one is going to cost $9.41. The second's going to cost $7.58, and the third is $8.48. Okay, what was the average cost for the sweaters? I'm going to let you go ahead and figure that one out. Okay, remember, you're just finding the mean. Okay, so that one's not too bad. And the summary. Okay, when the problem asks you to find the average, the x goes like example number 1 and number 4. And when the problem gives you the average, the x goes like numbers 2 and 3. Okay, so just something to think about. When the problem asks you to find the average, it's going to be on the right side of the equal sign. Okay, and it's talking about the variable. Okay, and if you want to find example ones like example number 2 and 3, it's going to be, just a second, it's going to be on top of the fraction. Okay, so basically this guy is when you have to figure out what you have to get a certain average. And this is basically if you're just trying to find the mean. Okay, so just so you're aware. Okay, thanks for listening, and make sure you have all these notes down. Thanks.